Okay, so this is the checklist function. So basically the idea here is we have two things. We have a template and then we have the checklist. So the first thing is you create a template. So let's say this is the new employee template, right? Or let's call this rather the new employee, let's call it a routing form. Okay, so then you can give a purpose. Right? And you can give a date that you created this, which usually would probably be today. In case this is an older routing form you're just transferring over, could be something different. Okay, so then we have the title. So you have several sections here, and you can create as many sections as you want. So the first section will be greet the employee, right? And we have two options on who will do this. So it can either be a position or it can be a division. So that's what this selection does. If it's not active, it's position, and if it is active, it's division. So here are all the positions that you have entered and created in your company. Here are all of the divisions. So let's say I want this one to be done by, let's say, the HR manager. Right. So anyone who's in the HR manager position, we'll get to in a moment, but they would be able to do this, right? But generally, will be done by the originator of this writing form. So here we're going to go through, and we can create a number of fields. Like this field is, let's as the first thing on here. Let's call this one basic information. Okay. So now with basic information, I can say the first one will be a text input, right? And so in this text input, I'm going to click over here, and then I can say that what needs to be done here is they need to enter the employee's name. That shows up right here. You can also have it be another text input that'll be next. In this one, we're going to say write their date of hire. Okay. So let's say that's basic information. So now we're going to the next one. So this one will also be set to the hiring manager, and this one will be greet the employee. So then this is a different section, and we're going to have to assign this. It's good to think with the assigning because we'll get to that how that works in a moment, but it's very important. Okay, so then for this one, we're going to have an instruction. And so for this one, what we're going to do is say, right, so that's that one. Now the next one can be another instruction, introduce them to everyone. Okay, so then the next section we're going to create, this one will be assigned to anyone in the IT department, right? So we're not going by position here, we're going by division. This will be set up their system. Okay, so then here we could have instruction like create their email. There's a lot of other field types that exist here that you can do in the same manner. Like we have, let's see here. So we have radio buttons, like which is checkbox where there's multiple, but you can only select one. There's checkboxes, drop downs, number input, a date. So like for instance up here, probably should have had here. So this one, I'm going to delete that, and I can make that one a date. So now I've created this. So it has a few steps, right? So now I can save this. I'm going to go to preview. I'm going to go to create template. So now that template is created, right? And so it automatically takes you to checklist here, which you can also get by clicking here, right? And so now we see this new employee writing form. If we click this drop down, see there's none in progress, and I can always edit this, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, editing won't break old checklists. It'll only affect new ones too. So you don't have to worry about that either. So then you click start a new employee writing form, right? So we're gonna name this copy. So we're gonna name this after the employee, Bobby Chris, right? So that's the purpose of this. And this is the date that, let's say we want the date that this one was created. So let's say it was created the next day. So there we go. And then I, as the one who originated this, it could also be the HR manager, and they would be notified when you start this. Otherwise, normally I could probably fill this out. So I'd say this person's name is Bobby Chris. Right, a little bit redundant, but it's my choice to do that. Next thing is to put their start date. So their start date will be the first. And I can check that. Now, when I check this, if you notice, what it does is it looks at the next section, which is assigned to the HR manager. So let's say I'm not the HR manager, like I'm the CEO and I just started this. I can now click this button, which means that the next section will be assigned to this person, and they're going to receive the email and the notification in their on their side here saying that they have to fill it out. So, do you want to close this checklist? Now that I've assigned to someone else, I can say yes. And I'll say no if I want to continue looking at it. If I do, now I'm out of it, right? And I can go over here and I can see that it's in progress. If I want to, I can go to it and I can fill it out. Or Bobby or Albert, who was the HR manager I selected, would see it. Now, if I continued that, like let's say now I'm Albert and I'm filling this out, right? If you notice on the side here, it is marking click by Austin Kerr, the date and all that stuff. So it got to this next part, and currently there's no employees being assigned who are assigned to the division of IT. So what I could do is I could report this to my admin or HR, and I could go back, and by clicking this, it's going to give me another chance. I can also click assign section 3 to another employee. So let's say I've already clicked everything, I could also click here, which will then bring up that pop-up as well. So the great thing about this is you don't have to worry about exact assignments of positions. So let's say, I looked at that HR manager and it was Albert, then Albert left and there was a new HR manager. Well, when it's going through, it's going to suggest that person as the next person. It's not going to have it be set automatically to somebody who's not there anymore. It's just going to look in real time, who are the HR managers, and then give you that option. There's multiple people in that role, you'll get that option as well. So then when you're done, it's finished, and then it shows up as done. So that's basically how it works.